Hello and good evening from the Asian Town International Cricket Stadium. It's the third game of the night, and we've got two big guns, the two hot favourites in this tournament, up against each other. It's Phantom Cricket Club versus ASNAD. Phantom Cricket Club winning the toss. I beg your pardon, it was ASNAD Cricket Club rather winning the toss and deciding to have a first go tonight on this beautiful looking surface. And rightly so. I mean, it's a pattern with wides that continues. We've been talking about this in the last few games. Bowlers starting up with wides. And on that occasion, I thought the bowler was aiming for the stadium parking lot instead of the stumps. This time a touch short. Couldn't find the gap. ASNAD find themselves in a bitter spot of bother in this tournament, having lost the first two games. They've got the firepower and the ability to make a comeback. It is a long tournament, mind you, so there's always that room for comeback. But it has to happen in this game here tonight. Oh, nicely played in the end. Good pace. Rushing onto him, rolling his wrists over and playing it down to the square leg region for a single. Tabrabon CC versus Firerock CC was the last game. Tabrabon losing that game. And this is an important game here tonight between two of the powerhouses of this tournament. Phantom Cricket Club full of talent and potential. They've got paces, excellent spinners in the mid-overs, one of the hot favourites of the tournament, that's for sure. ASNAD CC, on the other hand, haven't really lived up to the hype so far, but this may be the night. They've had change in openers with Shafullah and Rafaqat opening this particular game. Would they have a change of fortune? And it's a beaten him, all ends up there. No ball signal, so he'll have to reload that one, and it's going to be a free hit coming up, so a nice gift to start with. Wasn't anywhere near the line of the delivery, trying to hoik that ball across the line. We saw in the last game how Dainuk played an elegant looking knock. Hardly seemed to have hit the ball, but yet scored at brisk pace. Right, so it's the free hit coming up. And he's beaten him, all ends up not going anywhere with this short play. Across the line, he's been tucked for room, and his timing is all over the place as well. At the end of the first over, ASNAD CC are 9 for no wicket. Right, so it's one pacer followed by another as Sikandar will start proceedings from this end. On a starless night, we've got plenty of stars out there in the middle tonight. Rafaka comes in with a reputation to tear the bowling apart. And it's gone high in the air, hasn't quite timed it. The fielder's coming underneath it. It's a difficult chance, but he's taken it in the end. Held his nerves and held on to that opportunity quite comfortably in the end. He made it look ridiculously easy in the end, but mind you, it was a difficult chance. It's one of those catches. The ball was high and it was probably lost for a second as well in the night sky. But he kept his nerves, kept his composure, and kept his eyes on the ball till the very last second. Right, the first wicket falling early for ASNAD CC, and that brings into the crease Asif Ali, open for ASNAD CC in the first two games. Has had a change in position here tonight. Can he have a change of fortune as well? Known for his belligerent hitting, another one of their players at ASNAD CCs who hasn't really had a start of this tournament, and a streaky shot to start with. Way too early onto that shot. And that's been the pattern of the night so far for ASNAD CC in this short-lived innings. Only the second over, but they seem to be coming onto the ball way too quickly. This is the third game of the night, mind you, so there might be a few dry patches and cracks on the pitch, which means the pitch might really be slowing down. And once again, miscued. This is a simple opportunity for the keeper, and he wouldn't drop many. They don't come any easier than that. And ASNAD CC are having a collapse. It's not just a collapse, it's a landslide already. It does look like the ASNAD CC batters today have been handed a one-shot playbook. It's deja vu with every ball, same shot, same result. I hope they're not treating this game like a one-song playlist, just a slog remix. Just keep an eye on Phantom Cricket Club for the rest of the tournament. Dangerous side. Almost always qualify for the knockout stages of tournaments. In fact, they won the last edition of the Ramadan Cup. And they've come here with a lot of boxes ticked. Oh, outside edge, and there's no man patrolling the third man region fine, and the ball races away. Lucky, a streaky shot. It was far from convincing, but he'll take that, Umar. They need a bit of luck coming their way. His feet were nowhere near the line of the ball, playing from the crease, waiting for the ball, and then hanging his bat at the last second. Lucky. And once again, not quite convinced with the way he played that delivery. Going back, probably expecting a shorter delivery. And he was pegged back on the crease. You know, he's probably going down leg side with his feet. Not a good sign. And this time he's cut it away. Much more convincing on that occasion. It was there to be hit, just waited for it. Waited and waited till the very last second, and then punched it in the vacant cover regions for his first boundary, second boundary, I beg your pardon, of this innings. At the end of 2, ASNAD CC are 18 for the loss of 2 wickets. Right, so the beginning of the third over, and it's Asif Ali on strike. It seemed like Rais will continue from this end. He's got a long on back. So probably looking to be full and straight. Just the one fielder. Out in the 30-yard circle. He wouldn't really need him tonight because it's an inside edge, and Asif Ali goes in exactly the same fashion that he did in the last game, trying to hit that in the middle of Doha somewhere. But inside edge and curtains. Have to be said, unfortunately, these wickets today are falling faster than my New Year's resolutions. Is it the quality of the bowling that we are seeing tonight, or the wicket is slowing down, not coming onto the bat as well as it was earlier? Perhaps slowing down a touch. But then again, having said that, it doesn't help when we're executing cross-batted strokes. All 3 wickets that have fallen so far for ASNAD CC have been cross-batted shots. Baba is the new batsman, raised to continue. Nicely played, gets off the mark. Gently dabbed to the fielder at extra cover. Played with soft hands. Seemed much more assured with that approach, did Umar. Babar, I beg your pardon. This could be an opportunity for a run out. They set off immediately, though that was a good thing. No hesitation at all between the two. Hence, they were able to comfortably make it through. This ball almost an action replay. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Would have been interesting there. Excellent presence of mind by the fielder, realizing Baba there was strolling at the wicket, taking a walk in the park, and it could have brought about his downfall there. Got to be very, very careful. Up in the air, has he found the gap? I think he has. A couple of bounces and the ball rolling over the boundary. It was again another slower delivery, but well picked up, and he was able to find the gap as well. I think that's better. Phantom CC bowlers at the moment quite happy using those variations and cutters, using the pitch as well to their advantage. And he goes high, goes up in the air, and it was a couple of inches away from the fieldsman at deep mid-wicket. But this is such a lightning outfield. You get full value for your money. Hayat. It was a magnificent effort in the end, but not good enough. Another boundary, 2 consecutive boundaries to end this over. ASNAD CC are 29 for 3 at the end of 3. Umar in that last over seemed to have had the number of his opposition bowler, realizing that he was bowling lots of those cutters, so he just waited and waited till the last second to execute those strokes. So better momentum coming back to ASNAD CC. First ball played away for just a single. Sadiq's into the attack. Ramadan T10 brought to you by Qatar Cricket Association. Nicely bowled, excellent length there. Neither back nor forward was the batsman. That's what happens when you pitch it in and around that good length area. Oh, this could be close, very close. The dreaded finger has gone up. Looking to go for that lap sweep, but once again it was that length. You've got to be absolutely spot on with your timing. Wasn't the case on that occasion for Babar. He has to make a long way back to the pavilion. Right, so 31 for 4 there, ASNAD CC. T10 cricket at its best in T10. Even the bowlers don't have time to blink. Again, excellent bowling there. That is very, very good bowling. He's so good with his length. Not a huge spinner of the cricket ball, but very, very accurate is Sadiq. And once again, you just look at those deliveries, all the deliveries in this over, with every single one of them is hit the right length. Makes room for himself and he goes mid-wicket. Tends to favor that onside area. Being proactive. Couldn't quite find the gap though, so it'll only be a couple. The ball reeled in well at the boundary. So at the end of the fourth, ASNAD CC 34 for 4. Such is the nature of T10 cricket. Every ball is an event. You blink and you miss a century or a collapse for that matter. Cricket on fast forward. Such is the nature of the game. It keeps everyone interested. Oh, once again, beaten aim all ends up. A wild slog across the line. And Phantom CC bowlers have hit the right areas so far in this match. Not giving any room to the batters and just bowling in and around that good length area. Sahib, the new bowler, this time missing his mark and wide signalled by the umpire. A rare occurrence. This time a touch short, looking for a single. You don't want to take that arm on. Imran is still near the crease. What can he do to get ASNAD CC out of this hole here? They're in a spot of bother already. Nicely played on that occasion, but it's gone straight to the fielder and bullseye. He had one stump to aim at and he was good enough. Didn't miss its target. Well, that really does add insult to injury. And again, looking at Star CC's, I beg your pardon, Phantom CC's balance of the side. They've got excellent fielders, bowlers who can take wickets, and batters who can run away with the show. So they're a complete package. Even the best can miss from that angle there. How good was that throw though? Only a single stump to aim at and he hit bullseye. bang on target. It's gone up in the air. He hasn't timed it. It's an easy catch once again. And another batsman in this innings being dismissed in a similar fashion. It's Tanveer, the safest pair of hands. And ASNAD CC at the moment really are staring down the barrel. Another attempt to hit the ball across the line, leading edge, and the simplest of catches. Phantom CC in this game really have exerted their dominance in the first 5 overs so far, as their skipper Naveed Baloch comes out to the middle, and if there was ever a time they needed him to get them out of a spot of bother, this is it right here. 4.4 overs, 35 for 6. Can he bring his team home? Well, starts off aggressively. Seems to be in no mood to take any prisoners tonight. He's not happy with his bat. He's signaling towards the dressing room. Oh, that's very close. That's very, very close. For a moment, I thought he was out LBW, but it seemed like there was this faintest of outside edges, and it's gone through to the keeper. And yet another batsman finding himself making that long, dreaded walk back to the pavilion. It's not looking good at all for ASNAD CC, staring down the barrel, and they might as well be looking at the lowest total of this tournament. The quality of the bowling has been so good so far. Supported by their fielding as well. Fielders showing the presence of mind, staying alert, taking their catches. The ground fielding's been superb as well. It's been a complete package so far. As we speak, just the right time for Captain Sadat to introduce himself into the attack. Has the knack for picking up wickets. He's only gentle pace, but he's known as the man with the golden arm in Qatar cricket. Tends to bring wickets with him whenever he comes into the attack. Let's see if we can pick one here. We've got Naveed at the other end as well, so it's captain to captain. Good matchup. Oh, beaten him. beaten him all ends up. Straightforward delivery, but he was going back to a ball that he should have been forward to, Zaman. And once again, that's not a length you go back to. There's a huge appeal for caught behind. Everyone seems convinced except the umpire, and that's what matters. Big, big shout. So lucky reprieve here for ASNAD CC. And this time he finds the connection finally. Just a single. Now this will be interesting. Captain versus captain. No love lost between them out there at the center. Greatest of buddies off the field. Oh, Sadat beating Naveed. All ends up on that occasion. Similar line to what he's been bowling in this over so far. A touch full on that occasion. Slower, very slow through the air. Sadat. Naveed had to wait and wait. Could only get a streaky shot away for a single at the end of 6. ASNAD CC looking down the barrel, 39-47. Well, another attempt at clearing the boundary by Naveed CC. The bat swing was good. Anywhere near the middle of the bat, and that ball might have sailed across the boundary for a maximum. Oh, nicely bowled. Zaman, he's a pure tailender, so he's quite happy to stay back and not go forward. Probably worried about his toes and head as well. These bowlers are express pace, mind you. And there's a big appeal for LBW. Probably drifting down leg side. Was there a bat on it? No. Leg by signal, so Zaman survives to live another day. Survive another night. So many dot balls have been bowled in this inning so far. And he goes big. We were talking about his bat speed, and that's exactly the reason why that was hit right out of the screws. And you probably question the position he's batting in at the moment. Could he have promoted himself up the order? Safe to say that's the best bat speed we've seen all evening. And he goes again. He was looking towards heaven, but good adjustment by Sahar Gul, slower through the air. In general, when ASNAD CC look back at this innings, they'll find that there were lots of dot balls. And a dot ball in T20 cricket is like a plot twist. You don't quite expect it. Right up in the block hole, and another dot ball as we speak. Sometimes the quietest deliveries make the loudest statements. At the end of 7, ASNAD CC, 46 for 7. Right, so it's Sadat once again, continuing with his second over. He's enjoying himself. They have a firm grip over this game, have Phantom. Mind you, Naveed, the way he's been batting so far, it does look like he's much more capable than the position he's batting in. Not finding the middle of the bat. So it's just another single. Staying away from, they're doing well by staying away from his hitting range. I think that's one thing that they've sorted. For this game, once again, staying back, and is an ideal LBW candidate, is Aman. Just doesn't go anywhere with his front foot. Lucky to survive. And this time it was in the range, and Naveed just turning his head away from the line of the ball way too early. The swing was good once again, but the direction of the bat meant it ended up taking the inside half of the bat. Just a single. Every dot ball, even every single. Well, overthrows here, not needed. Every single, every dot ball is worth the weight of gold in this particular format. Tries to slog that one once again. There's Naveed goes through for a single. The last 2 overs coming up of this innings, and they would need at least another 30 to 40 runs to give themselves any kind of chance in this game. Once again, a big appeal for LBW. We're talking about how he is a candidate for LBW, and that's exactly how he's ended up getting out. There was this basic fault with his technique, not going anywhere with his footwork. Quite happy to stay back at the crease and become a sitting duck for that kind of a dismissal. It's almost as if he was premeditating those deliveries. going on to the back foot, hoping for them to be short. It was well bowled there. Another streaky shot, and would it get to the boundary? Yes, it will eventually. Wasn't the most convincing of shots, but he earns himself a much needed boundary here. Yeah, so what happens when you're happy staying at the back foot, you become susceptible to those fuller length deliveries. You seem to have lesser time to deal with them. That's better. That's out of here. What a magnificent shot by the captain. That went so high, it might have come down with a weather report. And he goes again, but this time he's been held out. Didn't quite get the connection, nor the height. Straight into the hands of the fielder. But he's played an entertaining knock here for his team and probably given them a ray of hope. It's so important to be able to transfer your weight on the front foot and be able to deal with those fuller deliveries. Last wicket, trying the faster one. It doesn't really come naturally to him. And that's going down to the boundary for 4 wides. That's not just a wide, that's a full-on detour through the desert. Well, Sadiq was probably in the mood to go to a Friday night sale in Souq Waqif. Everything's up for grabs. So the last wicket, the last pair at the crease right now. And once again, the batsmen going back. Didn't stand a chance to get any kind of connection onto that one. At the end of 9, ASNAD CC are 66 for 9. Apart from that small cameo by their captain, Naveed Baloch, it's been an innings of struggle for ASNAD Cricket Club. (66 for 9), the last over in progress. Faster delivery, too good. given the firepower that we'll get back to it after this ball. Heaved away, just a single. The talent in Phantom Cricket Club and the firepower they have in their batting means this is a very low score, way below par. Oh, he tried to go for the scoop. That ball hardly bounced off the surface. Hardly did, and I think he moved too soon on that occasion. Trying to be this time, he's sliced it. The fielder getting comfortably underneath it, and ASNAD have been all out for a meager 67 on the board. It's been complete dominance here tonight by Phantom, as a result of which they find themselves in a comfortable position, having to chase just 68 in the allotted 10 overs. Looking back at this innings and the way ASNAD CC started off, they were never in control, playing streaky shots to start with, trying to take the aerial route, but getting those outside edges, giving a bit of catching practice to Phantom fielders. We saw a brilliant run out as well in the middle. One stump to aim at, and that was probably the highlight of the fielding tonight. And then obviously there was a brisk of an innings by ASNAD CC captain. The only silver lining as far as their batting was concerned. Right, so we've got the gentle roller on the pitch, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes from now with Phantom CC's chase. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Good evening, everyone. We're back with the reply of this game between Phantom Cricket Club and ASNAD CC. ASNAD getting out for a meager 67, and everyone is expecting this to be a walk in the park, given the firepower that Phantom does possess. Shahzeb Afridi. It's a fearsome striker. So for a moment I thought he was able to connect that delivery with the swing. Wasn't the case. If he stays out there for a couple of overs, it might as well be game, set and match for Phantom. Comes in with that reputation of big hitting. Strongly built. And that's what we were talking about. Freeing his arms. Hardly seemed to have hit it. And that ball went flat for a 6. Extension of the arms. That's all there was to it. Makes it look so simple. And this time it was short. He goes again. He goes big. That ball certainly had a passport stamp on it. It traveled miles. Slightly short on that occasion, and that's all he needed to deposit it out of the ground. 2 balls, 2 sixes. Can it be a hat-trick? Can it be 3 in 3? You betcha. It might as well be. If not Shahzeb Afridi, who else? Here we go. This time shot, it goes again! And unfortunately, 1 bounce and it goes over the boundary for a 6. Pitched very close to the boundary rope. It was one of those moments of the tournament. 3 sixes, 3 consecutive sixes was on the cards for sure. Not to be, but still a boundary. A delightful stroke once again. He's setting the cat amongst pigeons already. It's Shahzeb Afridi. And a big appeal. Well, I was a bit surprised why. Initially I thought there was an appeal, but the bowler deciding to not pursue it. Perhaps going down leg side. At the end of the first over then, Phantom CC rolling at 16 for none. Such is the nature of T10 cricket. Every ball is an event. You blink an eye and you miss 100 or a batting collapse. Everything's fast motion, fast forward. And judging by the first over, it does seem like it's going to be an early finish here tonight. Ismath to face Dani, down leg side, and it continues. The trend continues. Bowler starting off with a wide down leg side. Aiming for the stumps, or perhaps for the parking lot, you never know. It's been almost a ritual now in this tournament. And once again, down leg side, another wide. He's handing out extras like it's a Friday night sale in Souk Waqif. Everything's up for grabs. Finally finding his line and tucked away for a single. Better delivery. You need to be much more disciplined and provide those early breakthroughs if they are to stand any chance of a comeback in this game. Just for a moment, we have a look at the field. The two fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Long off, long on. So it's got to be full. It's got to be straight. And he was indeed able to live up to the expectations of the fielding he got. Good delivery. Well bowled. This is a cruel game for the bowlers. It indeed is. There is so little margin for error. Only two fielders outside the boundary, and with the likes of Shahzeb Afridi, who has the ability to comfortably clear the 30-yard circle. It's so hard. And he goes up. For a moment, I thought it could have been an opportunity, but just falling short in the end. It's one of those nights, everything is going right for Shahzeb Afridi. Good bowling, though, by Daniel after that early lapse of extras. He's generating a bit of gas, hurrying on to the batsman. Beautifully played by Ismath. It'll only be a couple, but in the world of T10, we see a shot that somebody like Gary Sobers would be proud of. Leaning into it, planting that front foot forward, keeping his eyes on the ball, ticking all the boxes. Nicely played once again. Just a single, but seems to be one of those technically correct batters, treating the ball on its merit. In the world of T20, living up to be a purist. Always the most pleasing batters to watch, even in this day and age. Well bowled, not giving any room to the batsman. At the end of second, Phantom cruising 28 for none. Right, so third over in progress in this chase, and the captain, Naveed Baloch, has handed the ball over to Asif Ali. Didn't bowl much in the first two innings. And a full toss. Was it above waist height? We'll wait for the umpire signal. It's been signaled as a legitimate delivery. Has the ability of picking up wickets, does Asif Ali. It's got nice rhythmic action. And can generate a bit of gas on his day. Wouldn't really mind doing that on a night like this either. And he comes again. Trying to pull that delivery. Didn't quite get the timing. Stays quite front arm with his action. Has the ability to bowl yokers as well as sharp short ones. And he comes again, wide of the crease he goes, and wide of the mid-off fielder goes Shahzeb Afridi. A shot almost identical to the one he played in the first over, except that this one didn't quite have the power to carry all the way. It was half a hit, trust me, it was. The fielder goes back to mid-off. This time a full toss, nicely played away, just a single on that occasion. Yeah, the fielder at mid-off in the last over went back to long off after that shot. That's the kind of field they have for Shahzeb Afridi in particular. He's already played 2 shots, up and over, extra cover and between extra cover and mid-off actually. And Ismath. On strike. He's played it away well, but couldn't quite find the gap. Once again, playing the ball on its merit. Nothing T10 about that shot. However, he doesn't need to bring out any T10 prowess at the moment because his team are comfortably sitting at 36 for none. He goes straight down the ground, a lot of bottom hand coming into that shot. The bat turning though at the last moment, which meant there was no real power behind it at the end of the third. Phantom, a 37 for none. Right, so it's Shahzeb Afridi on strike and the crowd's waiting in anticipation. Off to a brisk start, 25 of 13. He's playing a bit like his name mate, Shahid Khan Afridi. Trying to heave that delivery on that occasion. No real timing, so just a single is the first shot in anger that Ismath has played tonight. Seemed to have come in with a plan, starting off nicely with straight bat shots, offering the full phase, and then we'll get back to it after this delivery. And down the ground goes Shahzeb. He hasn't quite got hold of it. And it's been spilled. Has to be said, it was a straightforward chance. The captain is absolutely livid with this fielder there. Those catches need to be taken. It wasn't a straightforward chance, but it was certainly catchable, and at this level, they need to be taken. And he comes in a beautiful delivery, an absolute jeffer of a ball, but it's beaten everyone. And it's so unfortunate. It will result in 4 byes. Not the kind of delivery which deserved that result. Being let down by his field as Abrar is bowling an absolutely hostile spell here. Needs to be backed up by the bowlers. By the fielders, I beg your pardon. He comes again, full toss, help on its way. There is protection down to the boundary. Fielder at deep square leg coming across and restricting it to just a single. Blazingly fast outfield. Anything a few meters away from the fielders and it fairly races away. Right, beautifully struck by Ismath. Excellent timing. How good was that? How good was the timing? Once again, just leaning into it. That's it once again for the purists. The way he's batting tonight is making batting look ridiculously easy. Such good balance at the crease. And seems to move extremely swiftly. Very, very agile. A lot really to like about him, and as you were mentioning earlier, it may not look like the most T10-like innings, but it certainly is pleasing to the eye. Very, very nice to watch. Very, very aesthetically pleasing. Where we've got a touch of class and technique at one end. We've got brute power in Shahzeb Afridi at the other. Naveed Baloch comes into the attack. A one-handed hoik. No timing onto that one, and it could have resulted in the first wicket. And they're looking for wickets for sure. Naveed Baloch, the pick of the bowlers for ASNAD CC in the first game. Bowled pinpoint Yorkers in that game and picked up 3 big wickets, 3 huge wickets. And it might seem like a consolation, but if he can pick up a couple of wickets here, it might just boost his team's confidence going into the remaining few games in the tournament. They are staring down the 3rd defeat in this tournament, so they need something to inspire them. Full toss on that occasion, and it's far too easy for Shahzeb Afridi at the minute. All he needs to do is time that ball, and more often than not, it will be good enough. That's his go-to zone, his favorite area, that extra cover. This time he goes down the track, and good piece of fielding. For a moment I thought the fielder at mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, had overrun it, but he gathered himself just at the right time and was able to reel that ball back in. In the meantime, we've got Ismat, the purist, on strike once again. Slower delivery and flicked away. Once again, aesthetic pleasure for the audiences. The way he's batting, playing every ball on its merit. He's only got 13 of 9, but this is... It has been a good looking 13. So Navid Baloch would probably be relatively satisfied with that over. 5 singles and a 6 at the end of 5. Phantom CC 61 for none. Right at the halfway stage, Phantom CC very close to the target. And by the way things have gone, this might as well be the last over of the innings. It's been an absolutely crushing performance. So we've got Zaman to bowl the 6th over for ASNAD CC, and almost a wicket, almost. Just bringing some facts to you. This is the first time ASNAD CC is operating with a spinner in this tournament. We'll get back to that and how a lack of having quality spinners have hurt their chances indeed. This time he goes straight, goes mid-wicket rather, but he can watch that ball sail into the stands for a gigantic maximum. He stood there disdainfully after playing that shot. He probably had the license to do it. One more to the tally. Full toss on that occasion. It might as well be signaled as a no ball. It was caught, but yes, comfortably above waist height. No ball. Cardinal sin for a spinner to bowl a no ball like that. And I think it's been warned. No. That's the end of the match, actually. El Phantom CC cruising home by 10 wickets. Dominating performance by them. And they've sent a strong message out to all the other teams in this tournament. One team that seemed to have ticked all the boxes, be it fielding, bowling, or batting, seemed to have all the bases covered, that's for sure. We talk about their batting. They've got people who can hit the long ball, and then players like ASNAD who can play the technical game the conventional way. As far as their bowling is concerned, they've got a nice mix of pacers and medium pacers, quality spinners. We didn't quite see all their spinners in operation tonight, but we saw how Sadiq was a completely different package, particularly with the consistency of his length. And he's one man who's going to be very, very difficult to put away going forward into this tournament. On ASNAD CC, on the other hand, they did come up with big expectations. Couldn't quite live up to the hype. And they'll have a lot of answers, a lot of questions to answer as they go back to the drawing board after this game. Going back to the first game they played in the tournament, they lost a close encounter. And I thought that really dented their confidence, and they haven't been able to recover ever since. Right, so it's Phantom CC. You can see in the pictures right now enjoying themselves, having the last photo session, which they richly deserve. They've dominated the evening, and they deserve every bit of appreciation tonight. Right, so from the broadcasting team, we'll ask you to stay tuned for tomorrow, as we've got 3 exhilarating contests, the 3 weekend blasters, as we would call them, coming your way. So we do look forward to that, and we do look forward to your company once again tomorrow at the same time, same place.